So 6:36 on the 6th. That was an interesting one. That I just got irritated by something. I was looking on TikTok. Sometimes you just get it's an addiction or something. You just keep looking and looking and looking. But the thing that irritated me, well, for one thing, the algorithm is really messed up. And I keep getting weird videos anyways. But this one wasn't a video. It was somebody sent me a DM. And it was rude. For no reason. And I don't know who the person is or anything. And so they DM'd me. And to tell me that I was an old hag because I said there was a firmament or something. Which I don't even know when I said this. The whole thing's so weird. And so then I reported them for bullying or something like that, whatever it was, and blocked them. And I just got the report back from TikTok. Oh, we don't see any problem. They're fine. It's like, oh my God, you guys would take down any video of somebody talking about something in a split second, but you can go in and say whatever the hell you want. The other day, I was saying... it was a video of Demi Moore walking, you know, the one where she could barely walk in her black leather suit, and she had to carry the dog to balance herself. I said it's weird how you can get so skinny and your boobs not change at all, because she was one of the people who went around saying that she didn't get a boob job, and which is funny because that movie I keep on when I was talking about the other day. With the Brat Pack, Rob Lowe and her and a bunch of people. I can't think of all the people. But it's like it keeps almost coming into my mind. But it's from the 80s. Anyways, she was topless in part of that movie. It was like... So, anyways, but yeah. I said it's funny how you can get so skinny and your boobs stay the same size. And... the second I put it on there, it was taken out. And so the TikTok removed it because they sent me a message and said that it was removed for bullying and harassment or something. So I appealed it, and then they came back a little while later and said, no, it's permanently removed. Shut up, you know, rude bitch. But it can be as like it's absurd. So anyways, I just was like, oh my God, why do I even support this stupid app? It's such a freaking bullshit. So, but, I mean, we all have our places that we go to see what's up in the world. And sometimes TikTok is good because you can see all different people from all different places and all sorts of things going on. Wish there's some weird cases going on or some weird stuff going on. But first, I want to talk about... the vet appointment yesterday. So, let's see, I already said, so it's Friday. Did I say it was Thursday? It's Friday. The Friday the 6th, 6:36. Oh, you know what was interesting yesterday? Because I started at 4:44. And then I started talking, and then I felt lost. So I stopped and started again. And it was 4:46. And so... I started and did my whole thing, and then I stopped. It stopped at 5:55. I was like, that is so wild, because I originally started at 4:44, and then it stopped at 5:55, but I started again at 4:46. I don't know, it's just sometimes these number things, which, okay, I'll talk about that one in a second, because first I want to talk about the vet thing. So, so we went to the appointment yesterday, and it was a different vet, which I didn't even know. I didn't know there was two of them. I thought there was just one. So, anyways, that was surprising because a different person came in. And so, my nose is just running like crazy. Jesus Christ. So the other lady came in. And she was an older woman who... she, like, knew her stuff. She just carried the tone of knowing. And she, so she had been a vet for a long time. So, anyways, she said that she had to look over the chart to see, you know, because she had never seen him before. And so she read through all the stuff and looked at all his stuff. And she said she didn't think he had anything neurological. She said that this thing that's happening to his head is the end stages of what happens when you have a very aggressive cancer. So she said that she believes he has cancer, and because she said that the what's happening, that and it's an atrophy kind of thing that happens to their muscles. But yeah, his head, it really is sinking in. I mean, his skull. I don't know if his skull is, but there's no muscles on this side. It just looks weird. It just looks weird. That took me a few days where I kept looking at him going, is this happening or am I imagining this? Is this just because he's skinny? But then all of a sudden it was just like, no way. His head is definitely shrinking or collapsed, something. And so I'd call the vet, and then they said, hold on. And then they came back and said, tell her to come in Thursday. So, so we went, and she said that, so she was feeling around in his throat. She said his neck is really swollen looking. And so she's feeling his throat. And she goes, oh, look, he just does not like that at all when I'm touching right here. And because I kept asking different questions and stuff, because here we are now switching totally to a whole new thing. And so I'm like having to unravel my whole mindset of what it was, because when I read about the GOLPP, I was like, oh, this sounds exactly, it's like check of his issues. And even on there it has like their back legs get weak and stuff. And so I was like, well, the other guy said it was a neurological thing, and she's like, I don't think so. And she said, because this would not, this doesn't go with a neurological thing. She said it would be very, very rare that this would have anything to do with the neurological thing, the way that his head is doing this. She said it's really common in the end when they have cancer, and it's the end. And so I said, and so I was feeling his throat, and she's like, definitely something's bothering him in here. And so then she said you'd have to go get a scope and really, look in there. And I said, well, I can't really afford $3,000 for that. And she goes, and plus, I mean, what are you going to do once they go in and they say, yep, there's tumors. Okay, well, you just spent $3,000 to get and what are you going to do? I mean, they can't remove his esophagus. And so, so it's like, well, it's kind of a waste of money. And then, so I'm kind of going with this older doctor's knowledge of what she's seen through the years in her practice. And so I said something about his tonsils, and she just opens his mouth, and look, the other guy, he had to have him put to sleep and stuff, but this one, she just opens his mouth and starts looking in there, and she's like, no, his tonsils look fine. And she goes, and in the x-rays, his throat is narrow. And she said when they have, and she kept saying myasthenia gravis, I think was what she kept referring to it to. But it says when you look up GOLPP, it has like in parentheses myasthenia gravis. And she said when they have that, they have a big, huge esophagus. She said it's huge. And she said his is real tiny and narrow. So I guess, something out. It's like, I don't know, man. But they were planning on putting him asleep yesterday. And I was like, well, man, I was like, immediately, as soon as they told me, just tears burst into my eyes. And I felt horrible. And so then I said, well, like, what's going to happen now? Like, what's the prognosis? And she said, I think he's only got a couple weeks. And she said it's going to be bad, too. I said, well, what would be the thing? Like, is he going to just, like, can't, like, his food? Like, she goes, well, it could be an aspiration. which she said is really, really horrible because then you have to sit there while they suffocate. And I was like, oh my God. And she said it's going to get bad. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll bring him back in a week or something to do it. But I just want to give him a little bit more time because he's still like he gets excited to eat and stuff. So, and then my brother's not here yet. And when my brother gets here, he's gonna, I think he's getting a backhoe from his friend, and he's gonna dig because we've got a place that we're gonna start a cemetery. Which I said, if I go, please bury me up in the cemetery. Like, just put me up there too. That's what I want. And but so we're making the plan of it and what we're gonna do up there. It's gonna be like a pretty little garden area. Because we're gonna for each dog that passes, give them a tree, which I still would like to be up there too. And so, and flowers and stuff, and it's got a beautiful view. I was like, oh, we should put like a bench up there, a little cute gate thing. So anyways, we're going to turn it into a really cute little, memory garden kind of place. And it's going to make me cry. But anyways, he's driving right now. So he's not going to be here till Sunday night, I think. And so, I can't just, I couldn't do it yesterday and just have his little dead body laying here for, and he lost more weight, which she said she wasn't as concerned about. It's like, he's 26 pounds now. He's so tiny looking. And, and I keep just giving him chicken. So that's like the only thing he can really swallow. Anything I give him, he has such a problem swallowing, but he's eating the crap out chicken. So it's not like he's actually starving. He's eating a ton. But that's one thing about the big C is you continue to lose weight. It doesn't matter how much you eat because the C takes all of that and grows. So you're really feeding the growth of whatever it is, and so you keep losing weight. That's a big sign. Like if you go and you're losing weight and you don't know why, you just keep losing weight. That is like when you go to the doctor and you say, I keep losing weight, I don't know why, and eating normal and everything, but I just keep losing weight. That's the first thing they're going to look at. Which, don't forget too, when we did the labs, his labs all were coming back fine. So, man, this is crazy. This is so intense, too. This is my second dog since 2020 of the big C. Like, this is intense. Fuck, dude. And plus, I'm like, I don't like to I made the appointment for Wednesday, and I felt like I was, like, assigning his death day or something. It's like, oh, man, this is rough. And then I'm going to bring his little body back so the other dogs can say goodbye. Because that's a big thing to the other dogs. When they just disappear, it becomes very confusing. And and it's a lot more healing for the dogs. Plus, when we do the funeral, I'll have the dogs come up too. So that they know where he's at. And then that's the cool thing about having property. Because you can do stuff like that. And then, I let the dogs go up and visit him. And man. So, I feel I'm just emotional. I gotta find my other, I have two tissues. Look what happened to the one when I washed it. It just became like a wrinkled up little thing. It's like you have to iron them. My ones, the men ones that were, because they're all 100% cotton, but the men's ones didn't come out all wrinkly. So I don't know if these are all going to come out really wrinkly, because I'm not going to iron my handkerchiefs. Like, I'm not that uptight. But anyway, so it's better if you bring the dog back, so that the other dogs can see him and smell him, and so that they can process what's happened. And so I'm going to do that for sure. And then do a little burial with them. And then I did Wednesday because I was like, well, I could really use the moral support of my daughter being here. And so this weekend is supposed to be nice out, so even the doctor was like, well, this would be a nice weekend to let him go out and enjoy the weekend. And I'll give him some treats and stuff. And I'm just trying to be as nice as I can. Even when he's squashing me on the bed, I'll just take it because it's like he doesn't have very long to go. And then my daughter said, well, Tuesday we'll do a really fun day with them. And then Wednesday is, we'll take him up there. And then we'll have to do, and it's in the afternoon. I'm thinking I might even change it to Tuesday. I'm going to call him and see. Well, maybe he'll make it Tuesday. Because this morning I was just thinking, man, how much worse is he going to get over the next few days? And, because she's like, he's only got a couple weeks left. And, because I was like, well, does he, like a month or something? She goes, no, a couple weeks maybe. I was like, crap. So the head shrinking thing is a big thing. And, anyways, so then because I would rather do it kind of a little earlier too, so that we can go up and do the whole little burial thing and let the dog see where he's at and stuff like that. And then my daughter wanted to go get some stuff, flowers and stuff to plant up there. So maybe we would do that Wednesday, because if it's Tuesday in the afternoon, it'd be a lot better just to spend Tuesday doing stuff with them and then take him up there in the afternoon. God, it seems it's so intense to like, this is the day you're dying. And it's so weird too, because I know it's just a release out of this, and for him it's going to be a release out of a broken body. But it's still intense, man. And plus I had just seen that dog communicator person saying that when a dog is at the end, they appreciate it. They appreciate, there's a period, a window of time. They said when it's, anytime this dog was telling her, anytime in this window of time. So once they've crossed over into this certain window, that anytime in that area, which is about a year or a year and a half, they're good with it. They're like, fine, don't feel guilty, we're good. And then, but it's after that, when they're really, really bad, that they're like, well, I wish you would have done a little sooner, but it's okay, because they're very forgiving about the whole thing. So it's just the whole thing. That's the whole thing about what we're here, is going through these processes, going through these learning things, these things that we just look at as life, but we're learning and we're growing and we're experiencing and we're trying to understand ourselves and what is it all about. So it's intense, man. And so anyways, yeah, I would prefer it to be like Tuesday afternoon and go up and Tuesday, or spend it Tuesday doing stuff with them, and then take them up and then bring them back and have our little ceremony, and then Wednesday go work on with my daughter planting and stuff like that. That would be probably better, because I kept thinking, man, this morning whenever I was being awake, I kept thinking, man, Wednesday, maybe that's like too far. Maybe that's like stretching it out too much and putting him through more pain and stuff. So anyways, and I'm giving him some CBD, but she said there's no reason to keep giving him the pills. It's like, that's not doing anything. He's dying. That's all there is to it. And if you let him just die naturally, it's going to be rough stuff. So it's just like, oh man. So anyways, so that's the outcome of Max's deal. So next week I'll be down to 3 dogs, and then hopefully Stella's still going to be okay. Hopefully she'll make it to the med bed, and if she doesn't, I'm just going to have to deal with a huge punch in the gut and a lot of loss. And they'll have the 2 little puppy best friends. They really love each other. So anyways, it's just rough, man. Rough. And this morning too, when I guess Stella she just wakes me up, and she's just like, she's so bossy. She's bossy as a motherfucker, really. And so I don't know what she found this morning, if it was her own business that she did, or she found somebody else's business, because it looked kind of like more fresh, and which, I mean, who would have been in there you know. But it was kind of like some kind of diarrhea business or something. And when I found her smelling it, but she's always been somebody who's like, if if there's anything, she's gonna go and show me where it's at. Always, she's always telling on another dog if they are doing something, going potty in the house or something. She's always find it, and then she'll stand there next to it and alert me, like, look what they did. So I don't know if that's what she was doing. So I don't know, because Ruthie is always like prone to having tummy aches and stuff. And I guess I didn't know about the bully breeds have a lot of allergies. All dogs have got some issue. I swear to God, they're just trying to fucking kill, motherfucking, trying to kill us, trying to kill them. So irritating. But the bullies are prone to stomach issues, digestive issues, and she has some. Her amount of gas is incredible. Like, she is just a little toot factory, and then she and then allergy things. So she does get a little red, little. Is that they don't look really bumpy, but definitely she looks like her belly looks. So I'm giving her allergy stuff and digestive stuff. So right now Archie seems to not really have anything going on, but geez, man, batting so well over here. So, anyways, that's what's up with that. So, that's what I'm dealing with. And, so today's Friday. We'll see what dramas come up today. And I got other things, too, I'm dealing with. Like a lot of, it's just a lot of stuff with my own communication, with my guides in my own personal life. And trying to really understand some stuff. So, anyways, I have my own stuff going on that's very emotionally draining about that, and it's like a badminton game or something. It's like this back and forth, and it's just like I feel sometimes like I'm just spinning in circles, and it's very draining. And I'm just trying to really work on just let go, just like I told you yesterday. Just let go, let things happen, let the magic happen, leave it alone, and quit worrying about it. It's like, well, it's a lot easier said than done. It's real hard. So, yeah, it's difficult. So, anyways, I've got my own battle with that business going. And we'll see, by the time things play out, I'll say. But at this point, it's like I can see what's going on in the world better than I can see what's going on in my own life. So it's like, come on, guys. And so anyways, so more, of course, going with the WW3, more court now. Brock, he's got a 70 panel lawyered up with this huge criminal, like, it's a whole big drama. So much fucking huge dramas going on. Everything's over the top. Everything's big, because when it's little, people don't wake up. It has to get big and dramatic to get people's attention, and then you have to start looking at it and going, wait a minute, this is weird, this is absurd, this makes me mad, this makes me sad, this makes me, this is all about us discovering ourselves, to get out of robot mood and move into thinking, feeling, being. And so reconnecting yourself, like, that's the part of, putting your DNA back in order, pulling yourself back into being present and not just a product of your environment. So that's the big occurrence, the big awakening. And really, it's just you remembering yourself, coming back to yourself, and stop being played. So they got to show us all these different ways we're being played. And in this, the Jim Carrey thing, I just know it has something more significant. There's something more significant going on about the Jim Carrey thing. And yesterday, it's all over all my social media. It's all over my TikTok. It's all over my YouTube. When I open my YouTube now, it's like freaking every other video is about Jim Carrey. And so yesterday I saw one. I think it's called Jimmy Dore, I think. And he's a podcaster. I think he is an MAGA podcaster. I'm not sure though. I've just seen him. I've heard of him a lot. I've seen him, but I'm not. And listen, I think I've heard a couple of little things out of his stuff. So he was doing one on Jim Carrey yesterday. And so I decided to listen to, well, what is he saying? So I like to listen and see, well, what are other people saying? What are other people picking up on? And so he was like, I'm all in on this. That's not him. I don't care what they're saying. And that's how I feel about it too. Like, I don't care. The manager comes out. I don't care if the fucking president comes out and says, oh, it's him. Just trust us. I think it's bullshit. And, so he was going through all of the different things, and he had another guy he was talking to. And so he's telling him all of the evidence that he sees and why he thinks this and all that. So he's doing this whole thing, telling this guy, telling everybody who listens to his podcast. But he has like a person he's bouncing back from. And this person isn't in the studio with him. So he's somewhere else. So there was a couple of delays and things like that. And so Jimmy is trying to say to everybody, that there's something's going on. I don't know what it is, but I'm pretty sure he also said he thinks it's a guy in a mask. He doesn't think it's a clone. But I kind of feel like this whole clone thing, because there are so many people, there's still so many people who think he's a clone, and there's still so many people now that you got more people channeling his dead person. Like there's so many girls now that are out there like, I'm channeling Jim Carrey, and this is what he told me and how he died and all of this stuff. So many. So the which we'll see. That's all I can say. We'll see. I don't think he's dead. But, I don't know who the hell they're channeling. I don't know what's going on, man. So the other guy, though, he starts saying, about Jim Carrey being weird or doing this weird stuff. And he said, did you see him on, what's that guy's name? He has a smaller podcast. He was a comedian. He might have been off SNL. I can picture him. I can't think of his name. It's not Rod. I can't think of his name. But when he was on that podcast, a lot of people have seen the clips, because that's when he was talking about the Christos and what Christmas means and the rising of the fluid and going up and all of that stuff. And so he was like, man, he was talking about some weird stuff, man. Just really weird stuff. And so he's kind of like that, I don't remember if he was saying existential or kind of in with the elites or whatever. He seemed to kind of have his own opinion. But, that's what we all are allowed to have, our own opinion. And so, but sometimes I hear people's opinions and I think that it's based off of kind of not understanding, so ignorance. So anyways, so he was carrying on about that, which I think kind of what he was talking about is like an energetic, like the Kundalini rising or something, energy or something rising through your system and making its way to the top or something. I don't know. Anyways, and I've heard him talk about it, and I think what he was talking about was true. I don't know. I know that there's a lot of stuff that they tell us one thing, and we're supposed to believe it's this, but it's something totally different. I just saw another lady who was like, do you think the Wizard of Oz is really about our ascension as beings? I'm like, yes. Yes, I do. So, anyways, so that guy, whatever on their conversation. So how it ended, though, is that, they don't know what's going on, but they think the real Jim Carrey is out there. They hope he's not dead. And, but that was definitely not him. And they're trying to trick us for some reason. And nobody can figure out why. And so then I saw Jim Brewer, who's another comedian who also has one of those faces. He makes lots of funny faces. And he was, I think he's a bit more of a conspiracy theorist than Jimmy Dore. And so he was, coming at it kind of a little bit different, but kind of the same too. But he was, I thought he was seeming like he was being careful over what he said, but it seemed like he was a little bit more thinking like what I was thinking, but I could be misreading because he was dropping off on certain parts. Like he would say, you know what I mean, right? Or something like that. But because he started bringing up the thing about Cappy, he's like, go watch the thing, what he's talking about Jim on Cappy. And when Cappy's talking about him, he said, I saw that back in like 2020. And so, see, and then he kept saying that Jim was playing Joe to people he knew, and people kept telling him, oh, you're crazy and all that stuff. So he brought up that too. And so that's what I'm saying. I think he's more of a conspiracy person, because everybody's like, oh, you think weird stuff. But I think that's kind of what this whole thing about the clone thing was, to pull up the conspiracy people and be like, oh, it's a clone. Look, it's a clone. That's like, and then, so it would get all the other people's attention because you guys are all so crazy. So then they get everybody's attention over it. So anyways, he said that he didn't think it's a clone. He didn't think it's a robot. And he thinks it's a guy in a mask. The same thing I think. I think it's a guy in a mask. I think Jimmy Dore thought it was a guy in a mask. And that this other makeup artist guy who's claiming it, that seems to be just not real either. Like, no, like nobody's like, well, it definitely was that makeup artist. No, it is like, people are like, I don't know who it was, but definitely is not Jim. And I don't know if it's his makeup artist, but that seems like it's just part of the shenanigans. And like the distraction, like everybody caught on that wasn't him, so they got to make a cover story. Yeah, it was this guy. But then they caused the confusion. No, it was the real guy. It's like back and forth kind of weird stuff going. So, but Jim Brewer said that, did you watch the Cappy thing? Because he said, I think there's something more going on, and so he wasn't fully saying, but, I mean, when you watch the Cappy thing, the letter, the kid is brought up, and, Cappy says, Jim says, why don't you join with the letter? Which that would, to me, say, he already was. Like, he could have been, because before we knew what was happening, the agency was already, they were already gathering evidence. So they already were knowing what persons were not involved, and which persons could ultimately want to stand and talk about somebody else's involvement. So they were, I think, getting people. Like, it could have even been when he was on Kimmel. He was already a part of the agency of disclosure, and that's why he went on and said that, because he was going to be protected. But then they got his girlfriend, and so so I don't know, I don't know if that's when they were like, hey, we got to get this guy and help him out because look what they're doing to him, or if that was a part of the thing, I don't know. I don't know how long his involvement has been. Cappy said that like 10 years ago or something. I don't know how long ago it was. It was a while ago. And so, but I had already said that when he was on Twitter, when he started going in on Donald, it seemed kind of over the top. So it makes sense that it was part of the show, because everything in the show was over the top. So if they did that, and then especially if he was involved as being Joe, which also it seemed like Jim Brewer was saying the same thing too. So if he was a part of being Joe, and then, but just look at how we breezed past that. Like they're like we're not even talking about it anymore. And that is a big thing. That's not just like an actor who went and got an award and it wasn't really the actor. This is somebody who was running the fucking country for 4 fucking years in a mask. Like, come on, people. And so it's something bigger that has to be revealed because it's huge. And big things were happening. And so to me, it seems like it would be something about that. And then plus, I saw a girl, just this random girl, and she said, you know what I keep thinking is that maybe, just maybe, this whole Jim Carrey, maybe he's a whistleblower. Maybe he's doing all this because he's going to blow the whistle on what has happened to all these people in Hollywood. Because just like now, they've got fake Britney out giving her DUIs. It's like this constant drama and stuff, which the real Britney, well, I mean, they were already had gotten her as a kid. They already were using, making all sorts of clones of her and shit like that. Because the guy at the clone center said that the guys come in and pay just to beat her. It's like horrific. And, but supposedly there's a situation that happened. It was even reported on the news and stuff. Then the stories were all wiped. But her and Justin Timberlake were in a sports car way back when they were together. And they were in a sports car and going super fast and crashed. And they were both killed instantly. And so neither of them are the originals. And no telling how many, because the Britneys do look a lot like her. But so there's no, my nose just keeps running and running. No telling how many clones, we've gone through with her. But yeah, it was before the conservatorship and stuff, because people were like, the original Britney wouldn't have had kids when she was in a conservative, like she wouldn't have even done the stuff that they, like she would be very different. And so anyways, that seems like probably what really happened. Her and Justin were killed when they were a couple, which there's more weird stuff too about Justin and Selena, and then ties to Jim Carrey. And so and Stephen Baldwin keeps being out there just saying all sorts of weird cryptic things. And you got to remember, that's Justin Bieber's wife's dad, who also made sure that because her daughter had a crush on him when she was 13, that he took her everywhere that Justin was and constantly was pulling her backstage so she could hang out with Justin and stuff. She'd been, if you watch the, Hailey Bieber stalking Justin documentary series, it's like, man, that is crazy. But Stephen Baldwin obviously is involved in some, who knows what side, I know. I mean, supposedly Alec Hughes already gone a few years back too. So, anyways, but I mean, the Baldwin family, I would think that, there's just a lot of weird stuff with like these big families, these generational Hollywood situation thing. And so, I mean, don't forget Robert Carradine just did himself in. And that's also a generational family thing of Hollywood. Like, I don't know. I don't know. This whole Hollywood thing is so freaking weird. But anyway, so this girl was like, maybe he's a whistleblower. And to try and get, because everybody's been talking about Selena and stuff, that maybe now this is all happening because it's going to blow the whistle on what's going on with the replacement theory in Hollywood. And I was like, yeah, definitely it's something like that. And then in her comments, because I said, yeah, I agree, I think it's something like that. But in the comments, it was like, oh, you're overthinking it. I mean, people are so comfortable with, oh, he's dead, it's a clone, it's a robot, it's a makeup artist, it's I don't know, it's like they don't think outside the box. It's just like whatever you're told, that's it. It's like, man, this is so weird. And who was it? I think it was the Jim Brewer, who also said, man, people really need to think for themselves. Anything that gets said on, on social media or whatever, people just believe it. They don't think for themselves. They just believe what you're told to believe. It's like, you gotta not believe what you're told to believe. You gotta think for yourself. And I know that this all has to do with that, learning how to think for yourself and to not believe what you're told, because that's what they've relied on for so long, for us to believe what we're told. So anyways, that girl had said that, but she also had a picture, a post from somewhere at the end of her video, and she showed it really quick, like this quick flash of it. And I had to pause it to read it. It took me like several times to be able to pause it so I could read it and see it. And so this one, because the first one that came out that looked like the regular Jim that we are used to seeing over the past few years, that it looked like him. I mean, if it's AI, if it's, I don't know at this point. But he just stares at the thing and then does this little snicker thing. Have I got your attention now? And so then it's like, oh, see, this is something happening. And then it flashes 2027, and it's like a Universal Theater post or something, like one of those. It seems like it's one of those companies. And so, or in an industry thing. And so then then people are like, well, Sonic's coming out in 2027, so it's probably for Sonic. Well, why wouldn't he do it as Robotnik's then? Why would he do it as himself, as this fake thing is happening, and then say, have I got your attention? Seems like he's trying to get our attention because it's hard to get. So first there was that one. So in this girl's video, at the end of her video, there's this picture, and it's some guy who I don't know who this guy is, and Jim sitting in this, I don't know, it's like these chairs. I don't know what the place is that they're sitting. It looks kind of like, I don't know, like if you were sitting in the airport maybe, and you were in this chair and this so I don't know. You could be sitting in anything. I have no idea. But they were sitting in these chairs, like a chair, then one in between, and then him sitting in this other chair. And so he's showing his phone, like when you're doing, like a selfie with somebody else in it. And the caption is, you guys will believe anything you're told to believe on social media. Something like that. And he said, Jim's here alive and well in Greenland. And then Jim's looking hot, man. He's looking good. So he's sitting there looking good. And so, again, I don't know. Is this some sort of AI? Like, I have no idea. And he doesn't look the same as he does in the other one, because in the Greenland one, he's got a beard and his hair's a little bit different. It's definitely like this person who they have on the accepting the award. He's got way too much gray in his hair, for one thing. Because I had even seen an interview recently where the person interviewing Jim was like, man, your hair is so dark for your age, or something like that. And he goes, yeah, I really haven't got much gray, just a little bit right here. And he's just got like a little bit. Well, this guy who was accepting the awards total salt and pepper hair. And his hair is long and shaggy. Well, in the Universal clip for 2027 clip, his hair is short and dark. But he's standing in the dark, but his hair is really dark, and he's short and cut nice. And then in the Greenland one, it's the same. It's like cut nice, only he's got a beard. Which I had said, if he was going to go incognito, having a beard gives him more of a place to hide than just his regular face, And then plus, Greenland is a part of this whole thing. I don't know what the deal is with it, but that is also where, Valhalla or whatever is supposed to be. So there's something going on. I don't know if it's the base of the White Hats or I have no idea. what. But, I mean, it was kind of random that guy would be like, oh yeah, he's just sitting here in that place and live and well, and you guys believe anything on the thing. Well, I mean, you got people channeling him dead now too, like it's crazy, and they just feed off of each other or something. So anyways, but if the guy was just some random guy in an airport who just was doing some kind of AI thing and saying that, then it's just odd that he would just pick that place when that place is a big role in whatever's going on. And I don't know, I mean, they're saying that there's stargates and stuff around, and so there's something about the stargates, which would be big portals and stuff. So I don't know if that green, I don't know. There's something bigger about it though than what we know. Somebody was just showing the other day on old maps, because they tell us that it's all like frozen tundra or something, and so they were showing on old maps that it was like jungly. It wasn't frozen. And it doesn't start showing it frozen until more recent maps. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. There was a whole thing about Donald saying he's got to go there to get all the penguins or something. I don't know. It keeps being weird stuff, and they just keep bringing this place up. But definitely when they said I'll meet you in Valhalla, and people were looking up, Valhalla is there. So I don't know. So, I mean, this whole thing, it just keeps like getting bigger and stranger. But then even when some girl, because I totally am in with that girl, like there's some kind of bigger thing going on here, and it's something to bring something to the surface to get us to see. And you know, I mean, obviously he's a character that everybody loves very much and gets a big attention to it, you know. So it would be you know, a little likely. But I mean, if he's a part of the, you know, I mean, if he played Joe and stuff, but if he's been a part of the disclosure factor for a long time, you know, he has a big role. So, but then on top of it, he's very popular. So he's the perfect candidate for whatever this thing is that they're trying to play out. So we'll see how it plays out, but it seems significant to me. If it's going to have to do with the replacement factor in Hollywood and what they're doing, because that's huge. That's huge. And or if it is going to be like, well, you know, Joe was, I've been busy being Joe here for a while, and you guys weren't paying attention about that, even though they're bringing different people out in different sizes and making it obvious he's got a mask on so many times. And so it's like, how obvious they have to make it. Like so many people are just like so in denial of what they see. They just know. If it sounds crazy, it must be crazy. It's like, no, you're just kind of creepy though. Like, you got to think outside the box. Like, you can't just be whatever they tell you, how they tell you to think, and what they tell you is good, right, and wrong. That is, you're just a product of their environment. You have to be able to think for yourself, think outside the box, look and see, what is your instincts? What do you see? What do you feel? How do you feel about it? And I think it was, oh God, my nose. I think it might have been even both of those guys, Jimmy Dore and Jim Brewer, who were both saying that. You got to learn and trust your own instincts. If it wasn't both of them, I know one of them said it. And I've been saying it. Like, this is a big thing about learning how to trust your own instincts, not just tell whatever they tell you, that you just believe it. And like, especially like, I mean, where you got to the point of these people are, you know, he's definitely dead and I'm talking to him. Like, that just has really gotten strange now. And then plus, if he's really, you know, sitting in an airport all fine and dandy, well, who are you people talking to? Who's sitting here reporting to you that how they died and stuff like that? And another thing too is some of them are like, what they're reporting back when they're channeling him, it was like, well, then how was he playing Joe? You know, it's like you guys need more information or something, because So you're saying he was playing Joe and then they came in and got him and just did him in real quick? Because some of them say, yeah, that they came and took him and he knew and he was really sad about it. He knew they were coming for him and that then they came and got him. They go through the whole thing. They give details about everything that happened. But they're all like, well, two of them, oh, there's hair in my mouth. Two of them are saying the same thing, but they're definitely feeding off of each other because one keeps referencing the other one's video. And the one who I had seen who's doing the remote viewing and channeling him and all that stuff, one of them, she has a pretty big following, and I don't ever listen to her because I don't know. There's something that just, every time I see her here, it's just like, oh, something just doesn't feel right. And which now, more is coming out, with the Bashar. There's a lot of people who follow and believe everything he says, and I don't know, it's like he's an actor or something. Like, everything, like they wanted to control your spirituality. They wanted to control what you believed and thought and stuff. And there's lots of people. I'm not the only one who didn't listen to some of these people and didn't believe them. There's other people who have been practicing spirituality for a long time and who have been coming out saying Bashar's fake. All these different people are fake. Because I've said that about Bashar, Abraham Hicks, and the guy who was channeling Chiron. I know I said this years and years ago when I very first started. I mean, I don't know. At the time, I was saying, like, I don't know. I just know that it doesn't feel right to me when I hear him. And I know, like, some of the stuff Abraham Hicks is saying, it can be accurate, but it's not fully the whole story. And so you need to understand how manifesting more in depth than just, like, the stuff that she says, even though she's giving some information. And then, and who knows, is she being used by other beings, or is she being used by our government to mislead us? I don't know. And same with Bashar and stuff, and Chiron. But the thing is with some, like, that they would get angry, like that who they're channeling would be getting angry. And it's like, higher vibration beings don't get angry, just so you know. They are very passive. They're very, if you do something stupid, it's just like, okay, well, you'll learn. You'll figure it out. It's not my worry. It's not my concern. They aren't, well, you better learn this and you better figure it out. They're not like that at all. So, yeah, that's why I was always like, I don't know who they're channeling. Like, it sounds kind of more like low vibrational beings when they're getting all upset or derogatory or condescending and stuff like that, because the higher vibration beings that that you want to be led by to pull yourself out of the dark are very kind. They're very loving. They're not judgmental. It's all that's how I say, like, the things you want to be working on if you want to become a higher vibrational being are those things. Letting go of things, being kind, working through your problems, being honest and real with yourself, and all those things are the things that you need to be doing to move yourself up. But then, yeah, these ones that get so popular, and it's like they want to keep you just spinning in their hotbed of low vibration, and it makes sense. I mean, when you think about it, if you are suspecting or knew that there was going to be this huge wave of spirituality that was going to cross through humanity at a period of time when the environment was changing, like the solar flashes, the earth, like everything is, the cycle is changing, so it's in a movement, it's changing, and you knew that this was coming, then it would make perfect sense to put out, leaders that were going to lead you back to where they want you, not lead you out where you want to go. And so I don't really listen to those people. And in the little snippets I've heard, I'm always like, I don't know about that. I did hear something. Somebody was sharing some snippet the other day of Bashar, and oh, I did hear him say, yeah, this was a little snippet that I was like, oh, I agree with that. Is this girl was like, well, my dog died. When my dog, asking like, what happens when your dog dies? And he said, well, they don't leave you. They just stay with you, which that's true. Everybody who dies stays with you. You think like they're gone and you don't get to be around them anymore, but you lose sight of them, but they don't lose sight of you. They're still around you. Their energy is still around you. And when you focus on their energy, you'll feel their energy around you. But yeah, nobody really leaves anybody. It just is the illusion because of the way that it matters here, the way the matter works to keep us focused on the experience, which is a good positive thing on one sense, but it is, at this period of time of trying to see beyond the veil, then it creates a lot of tension. It creates a lot of confusion, but that is the part of you that learns to have discernment and trust in yourself and learn how to communicate in a more productive way, like start recognizing who it is you're communicating with, and which is always, to me, as you can tell by the energy, what is it they're putting out. If they're being condescending and hateful, then just guess it's probably not higher vibration beings, because that's not how you become a high vibration being. It's all about the love and tenderness. Because, yeah, they're tender with your feelings. They aren't harsh. And they are, they're just like wise. They're like wise beings. And they are very patient and compassionate. And they are very caring. Like when you're reaching out to them as a learner, and they're willing to help you with what it is that they can teach you, then that is that's their role of what is like a productive thing, like a good deed. A good deed is done. But it's not that they're just pushing it on you. Is you have to want it. You have to look for it. You have to ask for it. And so when you start asking, give me more insight, help me to understand, why is this going on? Why is that going on? You'll get messages, but I think a lot of time people are expecting the messages to come, with a big banner or something. No, it's like a whisper. It's like a whisper. And when you hear it, or you're shown something, because it could be something that all of a sudden you're just watching something and all of a sudden this thing comes on, it's like, oh, okay, I get it now. Oh, okay, I get it. I see what you're saying. Because the communication, it may not just be like, right, you're asking and then you're sitting there waiting like, come on, give me my answers. Where are you guys? Well, obviously you don't exist. And then, that's your impatientness. That's your inability. You're putting more on them, and there's a communication gap. They have to be able to communicate to you in a way that you understand, and then sometimes it works best when something happens and then all the pieces go together. And so then those are your little epiphanies, like, oh, okay, I get it now, I understand. And and the more you open yourself up to the communication, the more you'll just get little communication all the time. Like, to me, they're always communicating. But sometimes you don't get the things that you're wanting. Like, I could sit here all day long saying, tell me what's going to happen in my life. Tell me what's going to happen in my life. Tell me what's going to happen in my life. Doesn't mean they're going to tell me. What they're going to tell me is like, just relax, man. Everything's going to be fine. You got to learn how to slow it down, girl. You got to roll with the punches. Like, they're going to try and give you, like, they're going to teach you how to fish. They're going to teach you how to be able to maneuver through your emotions and be able to handle things better than just go into a full-blown panic over, what's going to happen? Why am I here? What is this happening for? What is that happening for? And so, because, things have a timing. Things have a time and place when they're supposed to play out and how they're supposed to play out. And they can't go and disrupt that. And so, and the whole thing is, we get all in these emotional kind of overwhelmed emotionally. And that is, they're not going to feed into that. They're not going to pull you out and save you from that. They're going to help you learn how to maneuver through that. And because you got to allow the things to happen naturally. You can't just, it's kind of like you take your kid to the grocery store, or take your kid to the store, and they start having temper tantrum because they want a toy. And you can't just feed into every one of their little impulses, because then you're creating a monster. And so they're not benefiting us by telling us, oh, well, today be prepared, because they'll give you little things like, so many times so let's say, when I go pick up something on my table, and then I'm going to walk outside, and then something else will catch my attention. Well, I've learned at this point, well, better get that. Your intention was pulled to that for a reason, so you better grab that with you and then go out. When you don't grab that, so many times it would be like, well, we tried to tell you. And then it's always like, God, I know, I wasn't listening. I just kind of overrode it. It was just like, oh, I don't need that. I'm just going. And then all of a sudden you're out there. It's like, oh my God, I really needed that. It's like, and then you start catching on like, well, when your attention's pulled to something, it's pulled for a reason. And they're trying to show you something. But so many times we override it. And we're like, no. So they do try and help you all throughout the day with little things, like grab your umbrella and those little kinds of things, to get you prepared for different things. But they can't just tell you, each morning when you get up, oh, guess what's going to happen today? Well, we'll give you the lowdown and we'll tell you exactly what's going to happen. They can't do that. Even though, so many times we will be stuck in this like, oh my God, what is happening? Why is this happening? Why is that happening? When is this going to happen? When is that going to happen? And be frustrated. That's where they're going to try and help you with your emotions. And sometimes people feel very abandoned. I've felt abandoned by that before. And when you are kind of left in your room to have your fit, because we can't really fix it for you. This is something you need to work through. You need to figure it out for yourself. And so sometimes you are felt like you're just, there's silence. It's a dead zone. But it's for you to process. It's for you to recognize your own feelings. Like they're just quiet because you need to think about it. Think about what you think. Think about what you've said. Think about how you feel, deal with your emotions. And so it's, they're never like, oh God, sick of this one. She's a stupid ass. Let's go on with the next one. It's not like that. And then you also have, more of a ties with these beings too. Like you are in some kind of a spiritual relationship, like you have, I don't know how to explain it, but a lot of the beings that are talking to you have ties to you. So they're not going to abandon you. They're going to blow you off. There's just limitations over being productive in your life. Like they're not helping you by feeding into your frenzy. They're not helping you by trying to give you information instead of you processing your feelings. because everything is so much about you being able to master your feelings, the mastery of self, of being able to identify what is it that gets me and what is it that, where do I lose my mind? What is it, what am I constantly working on? That's one thing too, is you will find it's a constant. It's a constant thing. It will replay and replay, and you are trying to conquer the same thing over and over and over, because it is very challenging to just get with the flow, and no matter what's happening in your life, well, it's not my worry. I don't have to worry about it. Like, a lot of times I'll catch myself, like, I'll be getting all like, okay, well, if I get out, like, where would I go? If I'm going to get this, I'm going to do that, and blah, 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 blah. And then I'll be like, this is stupid. Why am I sitting here wasting time thinking about it? Like, what's done is done. It's going to come exactly the way it's supposed to come. It's going to come to me. I don't have to sit here and figure it out. It's going to be, I mean, it's already set. And so, yeah, my desire is to go in that timeline, go towards this identifier and go into this experience. But the experience is there. It's not like I have to create the whole thing. I don't have to be like, well, I'm going to have a house. It's going to be like 3 rooms. It's going to have the, like, I'll put things out there, the desires, because your desires are a part of it. But you don't have to go so deep into it. You got to just, like, allow it to come. Like, I'm like, okay, well, I know I want a yoga room. I know I want a dog bedroom. I just saw a video today, too, of a guy who had a dog bedroom. I was like, oh, man, it's so cool. He has 4, well, yeah, I had a puppy, too, and a cat. But the 4 dogs who he brings in, so he's doing video to show bedtime. And, so 2 huskies, which one of them is disabled, and he has to use a thing to hold it up and help it walk. And then 2 golden retrievers, which are crazy. That's what Winston was. Golden retrievers are so freaking crazy. And so are huskies. So he's got some high energy dogs. So in their bedroom, so he's like, it's bedtime. He brings them in. They have one, like, this pit of balls. This one husky goes in, starts throwing them, going crazy, playing in the ball thing. And he's talking to him like, oh, we're going to do this right now. And while he's putting the other ones to bed. But when he puts them to bed, he puts them in pajamas. It's the cutest thing I ever saw. So he has them put on their, so it's like their routine. Like, well, it's bedtime because now we put on our little PJ thing. It's so cute. And they have bunk beds. Oh my God. So the little disabled one is in the lower bunk. And so it's a husky. And then there's little steps that go up to the bunk bed. And then the little husky brother goes up and goes into bed in this one. I guess it's a brother. I don't know. And but so the 2 huskies share a bunk bed set, and then the 2 goldens share this bunk bed set. They all have to put on their little PJ shirt. And then it's the exact same setup with the little bunk bed, whereas they've got the lower one, and then they go up the stairs and get in the one, and then they have to lay down. It's so cute. I can't believe how cute it was. And it's like, I want that. I love it. And so that's like the universe. Your designer of your world is listening. Like, it's coming your way. The things you want. That's why it's important to focus on the things that you love and the things you want, not just things you hate. So, yes, like, I love that. I love the room. I want a yoga room. I want a room where the floor is all nice and clean. I can get on the floor and do some yoga and stuff and be able to do floor exercises. And I haven't had that in a while. And even in my cabin, like, every time I had the smallest space, and every time I'd even get my yoga mat out, Stella would go over and lay right on it, like, oh, okay, what are we doing now? It's like, I just want to be able to do my yoga. And so I want my yoga room, meditation room, and I want my bedroom, I want my clothes room, so I want my dressing room, and I want a guest room. I want a guest house. So I want a whole guest house. And then I want, I don't know. I will see the things that I want. Then it's like, oh man, I really like that. I really want that. I would think my office room would be also my yoga room, like the room I would have set up to do this in. I wouldn't be doing it just in my, whatever you want to call this room, my all room. It's everything. It's my life. It's my one room. And next week, when my daughter's here, I'll be in the shop. So I'll have to move out into the garage to do it because she'll sleep. So I'll get up, because I get up so much earlier. I'll just go out there with the dogs. And so I got to get it set up to do my recording out there for those days that she's here. And so, anyways, but you don't have to just, because that kind of Abraham Hicks thing is, a lot of people think manifesting, you have to keep focusing and focus. You have to give pictures. You have to do all of this stuff and just focus and bring it in with your mind and stuff. But it's not like that, really. You're going towards the direction, and you're designing your future by focusing on what you love and focusing on the things that you like desire, and it's going towards it, and going towards it is believing it's there. So anyways, it's just different than I watched The Secret too, and I was even doing some of that stuff when I saw it, and I was like, oh, this is how it works. But I didn't never realize, like, I was already manifesting stuff. And then when I started realizing, like, well, that doesn't work, but what I do works, then I just start focusing on what I do and stop focusing on that stuff. So, yeah, but everybody else, you figure it out as you go. So, and that's what life's all about. Figuring it out as you go, loving the experience, figuring yourself out. And that's what all these experiences are for, to experience. And so, enjoy the ride, enjoy the experience. But it's easy when you want to control the experience. It's easy to get caught up in, like, why is this happening? When is this going to stop? Why is this going to go, So, anyways, there's challenges, that's for sure. But that's where we can really learn how to find ourselves. And like I said, they repeat. You'll see, like, when chips are down, you kind of do the same thing. And so then you got to work through it, and then the chips will get down again, and then there'll be like more chips, and it's like, oh, I still went back and did the same thing. And so it's it's the navigation of change. It's like, okay, well, what I really want to do is change my behavior. I really want to change my attitude. I really want to learn how to freaking relax, man. Just go with the flow. Let things happen. Because that's the truth. That's the world that we're living in. It's happening. And we want to try and control it. And that's where we get our frustration. So it's a lot more manageable when you learn how to just trust that everything's going to be fine. And it's going to play out to the best of your interest, and when you realize the best of your interest is all that you learn and how it impacts you, then yeah, it's going to play out to the best of your interest. So anyways, we'll see what this day is bringing us. We're going into the weekend again. I just can't believe it. The time is flying, man. So we'll see what this day brings us. And when new dramas, probably more gym stuff. I swear to God, that just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, which to me is also another sign that there's a reason. There's a reason it's going to be, oh yeah, because I did want to say this is kind of strange, because this whole thing about, so The Weeknd was a guy who just came out of the blue, out of nowhere, and did an album and then became famous real quick, and was working with famous people like Drake and stuff immediately, which people are like, that just doesn't happen. And then another thing, he started dating Selena, or Celine. Is it Celine or Selena? Whatever, the one that's which now the new one with Benny, which I don't even know why the hell with this Benny, and they do water sport, like, oh man, I can't imagine doing anything with that guy. But anyways, but the conspiracy behind it, and then plus Jim was on the Weeknd's album and said a lot of cryptic things, which now people are putting together as like, see, he knew what was going to happen. But that this is where it gets strange, is that so Justin Bieber is really the Weeknd. That's why he was going out with her, because it was his girlfriend. And that it even goes further into Justin is one of the clones of Jim's. And when you look at some of the pictures of them as kids, it is like, man, they do look a lot alike. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the thing about this world is like, I don't know. It's a sit back and watch the show kind of place. It's like, man, it just gets weirder and more twisted. And then somebody was going through all the gematria with Justin Bieber and Jim Carrey's name. Like, it was like, yeah, there's some weird stuff. I don't even know. I don't know if Justin is a branch of Jim, and then he's playing the Weeknd, and then Jim's on the and then dating her. It was like, I don't know what the hell. Like, there's so much weird stuff. That whole Hollywood thing is an illusion. It is a fantasy world. It's just trapping us. It's just trying to drive us all crazy. So, anyways, hopefully things are going to start coming together soon. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully today some pieces come together. That'd be nice. And we'll see. But no matter whatever happens, I'm telling you, work on you. And when you want to work on you, go to the quiet voices that will help you to work through your stuff and become, they're there to help you to become your best version of yourself. They'll give you little insights and stuff. So, but learning how to love yourself is key. Learning how to love everybody else. If you want to be up, in the higher places, and learn how to love everybody else, and learning how to have the day you want to have, and learn how to maneuver through this dark, mucky world that we're living in and not let it get to you. You gotta just sit back and let it all happen. Let it just happen. The show is on. So anyways, we'll see what today happens, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.